There are so many great camera accessories out there, but a lot of us photographers and videographers ignore the most basic accessories that are actually going to protect your camera. And unlike other accessories, these ones are much more affordable and practical, making sure your camera is working for years to come. Most of what I'm going to share in this video isn't really talked about on YouTube, at least that I found. So you're definitely going to find something new in this video. So here are my top accessories for protecting and maintaining your camera equipment. Hi, my name is Bruno Pozo. I'm a commercial filmmaker here in Bend, Oregon, and I make weekly videos on filmmaking technique, gear reviews, and how to make money with your camera. If any of that interests you, hit that like and subscribe. Now let's hop into this list. This first accessory is something I swear I've never seen anyone else on YouTube talk about, and that's a screen protector. It's crazy because to me, it's kind of a no-brainer, right? We have screen protectors for our phones, sometimes our watches, or other equipment that we have at the house. And these things are super affordable. I think the one I got for my Canon R5 Mark II is a 3-pack that was like $11 or $12. But that small investment is totally worth it in the case of an accident. And we know this, if you use a screen protector for your phone, you know how expensive it is to replace the screen of your phone when you break it, versus just paying the $10 to get the screen protector, and if anything breaks, you're just replacing that screen protector. And really the screens you're protecting on your camera are the LCD screen and maybe the top screen if you have it by your mode dial. This also can help in the resale value of your equipment, because you're limiting the amount of damages, scratches, and even smudges on those screens. So your camera is actually in much more pristine condition for a much longer period of time. And these really don't interfere with the touch functionality of your LCD screen whatsoever. I'm still able to take full control and tap my screen to focus or to change any settings. All in all, I really think a screen protector is super underrated, but totally worth the investment. Now, we can't talk about camera maintenance without talking about keeping the camera clean. And there are two main elements you want to focus here. Number one, your lens, making sure the end of the lens and even the rear element of the lens is free of smudges or hairs or anything like that that can interfere with your image. And number two is your actual sensor. You might not always think about it, but if dust or other particles end up inside of your camera sensor, it doesn't matter how clean the lens is, you're still gonna get these weird artifacts in your images. That's why I highly recommend getting this next accessory, which is a sensor cleaning kit. Now, you wanna make sure you're getting the cleaning kit that is the right size for your sensor, because these kits are essentially a cleaning solution and a brush. And you wanna make sure that brush fits the size of your sensor, because if it's either too big or too small, you might accidentally get that solution on something electronic and damage your camera. Luckily for me, all of my cameras are full frame, so I have this full frame cleaning kit, and it's actually very easy to use. You can look up a video on how to do this yourself, but the long or the short version of it really is changing a setting on your camera to make sure that the shutter is open when the camera is off. And once that setting is enabled, you're gonna make sure the camera is off, take off the lens and the body cap of the camera, and you should see your sensor. And then you simply follow the instructions in your sensor cleaning kit. In my case, you just dab a drop or two on the brush the sensor once, one way on the wet side, and then brush it the other way using the dry side to soak everything back up. And that's it. And now you have a pristine and clean sensor, so you're able to actually take full advantage of your sensor's technology. As we continue to use our cameras, inevitably we're gonna apply some wear and tear over some of the parts. Some of the easiest parts that get damaged outside of the LCD screen and of course your lens is actually your viewfinder cup and your electronic hot shoe. And so for both of these, you wanna make sure you have replacements for them. And luckily, these parts are very cheap and affordable to replace. Let's start with the electronic hot shoe. Most modern mirrorless cameras come with an electronic hot shoe that allows you to mount different accessories to it and communicate with the camera directly without the need of an extra cable. But unfortunately, I've seen a lot of people, one, lose these hot shoe covers, or 2, just never keep them on their camera. You really shouldn't have this thing exposed because if any moisture or dust collects in there, you can inevitably break that component and then it becomes a lot more expensive to repair your camera. And so the easy solution is to have some extra hot shoe cover replacements on hand. I literally got this 3-pack on Amazon for maybe $10 or so, and that just allows me to always have a backup in case I lose one, because let's be honest, it's very easy to lose these hot shoe covers. Now, similarly, you have the Viewfinder cup, which is that little silicone shell around the viewfinder. Sometimes through wear and tear or like animals or, and sometimes gets snagged on something in your bag even, you can rip and tear this, and that can ruin your experience when using the viewfinder. Luckily, it's very easy to replace, and I actually was able to get this replacement online for under 30 bucks. I actually forget now, but everything will be linked and priced on screen right now. And these actually come with the necessary screws and screwdriver to actually disassemble your camera's viewfinder cup and replace it with this new one. And once again, this just ensures that you don't have any light leaking or discomfort when using the viewfinder if it's somehow damaged or maybe soaked in a lot of dirt or water or something like that. Another overlooked piece of camera accessory is a camera strap. Not very sexy or anything, but it is a way to hold our camera without the need of our hands. But the problem with the camera straps that the camera providers give you is, 1, I don't think they're very comfortable, and 2, they're very annoying to actually assemble. So you have to do this weird knot system, especially on the Canon system, to kind of get them in and locked. And then if you want to ever take them off for whatever reason, like you're trying to put it on a gimbal or something like that, it's also very cumbersome and takes a long time to take it off. And that's why I really like the Peak Design camera straps. These camera straps do a few things really well. First off, they are very easy to adjust the length. They just have this little buckle that you undo, and then you can adjust this length and then do it again, and you're all set. This would normally take a lot longer on the camera brand's camera strap. Number 2, they have a quick release system. So they have this little buckle here that actually snaps onto their anchors that is now tied to your camera. In this case, it's tied to my handle, but it just buckles in like that, easy to apply. But when you're done and you want to put it on a gimbal or something, you just push the buckle and it comes right off. And lastly, it's very comfortable and quite durable. I believe they're rated to hold like 50 pounds, which is insane because I can't imagine any camera setup that weighs that much that you're gonna use a camera strap and weigh it on your neck. I've been using these for 3 years now without any issue, and you can see they have some wear and tear on them because they've seen some battle over the years. But I absolutely love the Peak Design camera straps. So much more comfortable, so much easier to adjust the length and the design of it, because you can even attach the anchor to different points in your camera, right? So if you have a longer lens, you can actually have this so that the anchor's on the bottom of your camera, and so it sits more comfortably when you're doing a sort of over-the-shoulder, longer sling style of a camera strap. And of course, you can still do it in the traditional style with the 2 ends of your camera and putting the camera strap there and then just wearing it on your neck if that's like the setup that's more comfortable for you. Now, I won't lie, Peak Design's a little bit pricey, but I do think it's worth it. And for me, I've only bought one in the last 3 years and it's still going strong. I absolutely love it. And so it's a worthwhile investment to look into. All right, so a camera strap is great for hands-free operation, but when you do need hands-on operation, I've actually really been enjoying a hand strap. I recently got this one and it's been really comfortable and amazing to use. It's especially handy, if you will, when shooting handheld, because it provides a lot more support and comfort for gripping your camera without like all the extra hand strain that comes with gripping without the strap. And what's great about this hand strap is that it actually has a safety system where you can actually let go of the camera and it'll still stay stuck on your hand. And so you can get some relief when shooting with your camera without having to necessarily constantly grip like I am most days. Another accessory that can help protect your camera and even improves its functionality is a camera cage. Now, this is typically more often used by video shooters because it opens up the ability to add more accessories to your camera, like a handle, a side grip, a monitor, a microphone, of course, and other accessories like that. But it's equally as good for photography because, like I said, it can help prevent damage. So if you were to drop this, because the cage is more or less surrounding the camera body, it's going to hit the cage first before applying any force or damage to your actual camera. Unfortunately, I actually have dropped my R6 Mark II once, and it hit the camera cage and there was no damage or issues I found with the R6 II after that. And I really do owe it to the camera cage. Now, one thing I do want to share about camera cages is that ideally you want to stick with a specific camera system. And by that, I mean like choosing a brand. So for example, on my R5 Mark II, I had the small rig cage system, which opens up its compatibility with small rig accessories. On my R6 Mark II, I have the Ulanzi FalCam cage system, which is a nice quick release system that is really functional and easy to use. Although I will say I've been enjoying the small rig cage a little more because it has quick release with some of its other accessories like the small rig V-mount battery plate. And at the bottom of the cage, you actually get this little multi-tool that helps you to, screw things in and off. And it's really handy because it's a part of the cage. And so you always have it on you if you have your camera. And then of course, I love the added functionality. As a video shooter, I love having my top handle with a monitor, a side handle for better handheld operation, and to add the microphone off to the side so that I have a more rigged out setup for those more demanding shoots. On that note of tools and why I like small rig, I really want to give a shout out to this next accessory, which is a multi-tool. This one is from Small Rig, but you can get different multi-tools from I think like Condor Blue and other brands, but it allows you to have access to some of the most common like screw heads like Allen wrenches, star, and like that octagonal screw head, and even of course more like that longer like plate, almost like quarter like flathead here that allows you to tighten things and adjust things on set. And there hasn't been a day since I bought this multi-tool that I don't use it on a shoot. Even if I'm not necessarily using it myself, I'll hand this off to someone who is quickly setting up their camera or their tripod and they just need to screw something really quickly. I'm able to actually hand this off and continue to work on my rig while they work on theirs. And it's a very simple and functional accessory, but it has come in clutch pretty often. And I just throw this in my camera bag, so I always have it with me in case I need it. If you want to pick up any of these camera accessories, there will be affiliate links in the description box below that help support this channel. But what camera accessories do you use to keep your gear safe and clean? Share with us in the comments section below. If you like gear listicles just like this one, you can check out my latest one here. Thank you so much for watching all the way until the end. I appreciate every single one of you who do, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.